What's going on, everybody? This is Nick from House of Paint 203, bringing you the second part of the Young Gold Dragon series. In part one, we base coated him in a coat of Gehenna's Gold, and we gave his wing membranes a crimson wash using Carroburg Crimson, also by Citadel, which is a shade by Citadel. And we also washed the frills on his neck. So it's really good progress. And in this part, I think I'm going to go back in on the membranes with my original base coat, using it as a dry brush, as well as bringing out some of the detail on his body. So we still have a lot of work to do on this particular figure, so let's jump right in. As always, I want to give a special shout out to friend of the show, Dominic Marriott, owner and founder of Credit UK, all the way across the pond in the UK. Dominic is a crafter of dice trays, dice boxes, dice vaults, dice towers, you name it, Dominic makes it. You need to check out what he has so that you can up your game at your gaming table as soon as possible. Also, while you're here, be sure to smite like and slam subscribe so that you can stay up to date on all the content that I am putting out there in my quest to paint the manual. And of course, we are on the Young Gold Dragon this week. He is coming along pretty nicely, and it's time to dive in on some of the next steps in our process here. So I'm actually going to start off, as I was looking at this guy, I'm actually going to start off here by adding a little bit more Carroburg Crimson, which is the wash that I used on his membranes. I'm going to add it to his eye sockets, as well as the little frills along his jaw. Just ever so gently. And the reason I did this first is because it does take the washes a little while to dry, so I wanted to give it kind of a chance. The outline of his mouth. All right, give that a chance to dry. We're going to move back in on the membranes here with my original base coat, Gehenna's Gold. Should be Gehenna's Gold. Alright, so taking my dry brush, and my goal here is to try and bring back some of the original base tone on the inner portion of the membranes here, where you know, I feel like it would be a little bit lighter than it is. So I have the Gehenna's Gold on my brush. Pretty much get all of it off and start actually going to start down here actually. Let's see. Now this is just going to catch the raised areas. Kind of bring back that original glint. As you can see, it's starting to do that on the spine, or on the spines of the membranes. kind of going on the fly, which I'm nervous about, but I want to try green shade, a wash from Citadel. I want to see how that looks, because my original plan was not to not to do the scales on his body, but I've been thinking about this and I just kind of want to see how this would look. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest with you. I think it all depends how it dries. All right, well, I guess I'm committing. It's amazing how plans change mid-project. Christmas dragon. it's looking pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to obviously bring the gold back a little bit, but I think that wash is doing a pretty nice thing. I think I'll go back in with some more Gehenna's gold and bring that out. If not, a mixture of Gehenna's gold and polished gold, which my highlight's gonna be. Maybe use that as kind of like a mid-tone. That's looking pretty cool. I definitely like the mixture of the crimson wash with the green shade. All right, now that this is dry, I kind of want to go in on the scales and bring some of the gold back. I think the green did a nice job of settling into recesses, but I definitely want to go back into the recesses, not the recesses, into the scales here with some Gehenna's gold, our original base. Just thinly over here. You know, not messing with the recesses. Focusing in on the larger scales here because I want to see what a dry brush looks like on the smaller scales, like on the legs and on the spikes up on the membranes here. Really just stipple in here. Right, before I go any further with that, I'm going to stay on this side of his body and I'm going to try a dry brush up on this area here and see what the dry brush does with this section, because this I have too much green that I would like right there. So I'm hoping the dry brush brings it out. Again, I'm just dry brushing with the mid-tone, which is also my original base coat, Gehenna's gold. And I am going to bring this up to a polished gold. So let me see what this does here, what effect this has. Not too bad. touch this up though with the gehennas. A little more gold going on the scales of the tail here. Up on the spines, bring those back a little bit. Again, it's a little tedious, but trying to kind of get the most out of this model, you know, spending all this time working on it. I kind of want to give it as much as I can. So I think it's looking pretty good, and we only have the mid-tone on right now. Again, we're going to bring that up to a polished gold, but I think I'm going to finish up back here doing some freehand, just kind of touching up some spots. We're still getting those crimson undertones, are just, after this step, they're just not as like pronounced. We have something that's a little bit more uniform, I guess. So this side is done. Now we're just gonna flip them around, and we gotta do this side next. So on this side, we're doing the same exact thing as we did on that side. So I'm actually going to just using the side of my brush. Since you've already seen this step on the other side, we're going to speed things up here. All right, so he's coming along pretty nicely, got those mid-tones on and applied. And now I'm going to go in on his belly and just give his belly a base coat of khaki. And try to bring that belly out to almost a white. It'll be a little tricky to get in here, but we're gonna make do. Unfortunately, there's not really much I can do for the camera angle here. You can imagine the challenge that it is to paint this belly, but trying to get creative and find those access points. The gold is interesting. He doesn't have the like belly scales that the young copper did. He's got more almost looks like the belly of a snake almost. With the coils. Oh, I think he does come off. Oh, he does! Yes! Discoveries! If you've already painted a young gold dragon, you've probably been screaming at your screen like, he comes off, he comes off. Oh, that's a game changer right there. That is a game changer. Now I'm gonna have to do some touching up down here. Give it our all. Kind of the undercarriage right here. I am stoked that this guy coming. He actually does. Look, there's like grooves for his feet where you can stick him back on. That's so cool. Yeah, amazing. Amazing. That just like made my day. Yeah, just for like my own sense of completion, I'm gonna just pop some Gehenna's Golden down here. And on the feet. So similar to the Planetar on his back. When I didn't like really worry too much about his back or detail. I just gave it, you know, a little pass of color. That's what I'm doing here, because these claws are gonna be, he's gonna be right on the base. You're not even gonna see the bottom of his feet. So I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on those. All right, I think I'm ready to call it for part 2. In part 3, we have to apply the final highlight of polished gold. We're gonna have to do the eyes, the claws, and the base, as well as bring out some detail on his belly. Even though his belly is not really going to be seen too much, once I glue him down to the base and everything like that, I do want to, you know, focus in on the belly and do a little bit of detailing on the belly, because the sides of the belly, like especially up here, you're going to be able to see a little bit. So I'm going to try to bring that out just a tad to, you know, almost like a maybe up to a bone white, similar to the Copper Dragon. As always, I thank you for joining me. Information on how to follow me on all my social media platforms is immediately following the video, as is information on how to follow Dominic Marriott of Crit It UK. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.